Hello, hello. Uh, you know, Lately we've been hearing quite a bit about mindset. There were some groups that did some, and uh, I wanted to kind of weigh in on that because for a lot of us, it started a while back as a means to bring awareness to the ill effects, if you will, of negative thoughts. And for more of us, there's always been somewhat of an understanding that we need to guard our heart because we know that from it flow the issues of life, meaning that we need to be careful about what we let in to our to our mind. That's because through our thoughts we enter into emotion, or we go from thoughts to emotion. And depending on the frequency of our thoughts, right, that energy, or good, bad, high, low energy, our thoughts can lead to joy or depression and run the whole gamut of everything in between. So gotta watch out. Anyway, awareness of this is the very reason that others in on passive and in our communities have been talking about mindset, and it's because we know that the right mindset is going to lead to right living, which can lead to joy and fulfillment, and ultimately to the lifting of humanity, which is exactly what we want. That is, after all, the path that we want to be on. um, our mindset determines our mental attitude, our outlook, and ultimately our behavior. It also points out our worldview in 3D reality, although it's still, a collection of perceptions. It's a set of beliefs that we have about ourselves and the world around us, which were formed as a result of our experiences. But still, those things that we believe are filled with all sorts of mythical fancies, prejudices, misconceptions, resentments, biases, memories of pleasures or hurts, and all the other daily habitual methods that we use to cope with the ups and downs of the lives that we all face. Now, paradoxically, our beliefs govern those experiences that we live out. Our relationships, happiness, misery, yeah, even uh, misery, right? It's Our thoughts are responsible in a way for what we consider as bad. Things like sickness and disease or accidents. Believe me, nothing happens by chance. Now, our belief system draws to us every success and failure that we experience. Everything is woven into the fabric of life, from the threads of our personal consciousness, our thoughts, expectations, life beliefs, ideas of fate and spirituality, everything. And we bring it all to ourselves, wrapped in life experiences, and it's all rooted in the thought process. And this is to say that our ability to create new environments and circumstances, relationships, achievements or failures, prosperity, poverty, they're all governed by laws of existence. And whatever you, me, humankind, whatever we profoundly believe we are, good, bad, or ugly, that's exactly what we're going to become. Concerning bad things, whatever we fear or whatever we think others are going to do to us, that's exactly what they will do. We'll draw those things to us in our experience like a cosmic magnet. Now, concerning good things, whatever it is that we want or hope or think other people are going to do for us, well, we first have to do it for them. And that way, we'll be drawing that to us like a great cosmic magnet. And this is the great law of sowing and reaping in action. And action is the language of the body, just as thoughts are the language of the mind. Action takes from the spiritual and brings into the physical. The quote unquote doing comes from a process. We have a thought, and that thought provides emotion, and that emotion spurs us into action. And in the case of ONPASSIVE, as well as all caring outcome, that doing is what we refer to as compassionate action. In this, we are creating a passion and a pattern of consciousness that returns to us to bless us to the extent that we have blessed others. That's what it pulls back, right? No matter how big or how small. But that consciousness pattern has got to be developed. And it's usually a gradual change in the thought process. If you see life as a glass half full or a glass half empty, that's your mindset. I mean, you developed that. It certainly didn't happen overnight. And once developed, it returns to us exactly what we put out. And incidentally, this happens in or out of ONPASSIVE. It's a life principle. So if we fear strongly enough that disease, or health for that matter, is going to overtake us, we'll experience it because we've created a consciousness pattern for it. Whatever we send out from our heart and mind will make its way back to us in one form or another. It may take seconds or years, but we will reap what we sow. And those emotionally charged thoughts become seeds planted in our consciousness, and whatever seeds we plant will bear fruit after its kind. Generally speaking, we're not going to get almonds from an apple tree, and there's no way for us to escape the result of what we think, do, or say, because we're powerfully creative beings born out of, we draw our being from divine creative consciousness power. So, if we want to get good things, we have to put good things out. And I don't mean just donating to the local food pantry or giving 10% to a church or charity. Whatever we put out includes our thoughts, our words, emotion, action, and energy, no matter what form it takes. And normally, that creative learning process takes time. Going from lack to abundance, hatred to love, fragmented to wholeness, or even illness to health is usually a slow process, but not always, so be careful. When it happens very quickly, like winning the lottery, for instance, newly found abundance isn't the result of gradual change in the thought process, a change in thinking. So the recipient, more often than not, squanders the gain and ends up worse off than before simply because the sudden change in abundance was not accompanied by or the result of a prerequisite change in mindset, a change in thinking. Those who have read scripture may recall that Jesus often told to those that were healed to go and sin no more, right? Well, this is because he knew the recipient of the healing had not developed a wholeness or a wellness thinking mindset or lifestyle yet. And without it, the previous condition for which the guy was healed would and could return. So telling them to sin no more was to say, hey, look, stop doing what you're doing so you don't think about it anymore. And that way you won't have the thought and the action that follows the thought that brings back the bad results you previously experienced. So ONPASSIVE doesn't want anything like that happening to us either. None of us do. We don't want lives being destroyed or plunged into hardship by the very abundance intended to bring joy and fulfillment. So be aware of that trap, so to speak. So, what are we going to do with what's coming? Because there's a flood of abundance and opportunity coming our way as a result of what ONPASSIVE is doing and a lot of other things at play. And our mindset is going to determine what we do with it and what action plays out in our lives. Now, each and every one of us are fully capable of helping to lift humanity through compassionate action. So think about what you're thinking about, because your mindset is everything, and from it, the substance and quality of your life flows. Thank you so much. I appreciate you listening. I hope you have a great ONPASSIVE day.